Welcome, writers and friends, to our awards banquet. I'm Brian Young. I'm the president of the League of Utah Writers. You've probably seen a little bit of me over the course of the weekend. This is a night where we celebrate each other and our successes, and we look ahead to the future. The theme of this year's conference is writing to change the world, and I don't think there's anything more important than that. Every time we open a book, we hope to be challenged and changed. We hope that as we read, we learn something new about the world, something we didn't know about adventures we'll never go on by ourselves, or adventures we hope to have. By showing readers a world as it could be, or the ills of the world as we hope it will never be, we aim to prevent those terrible futures and create those wonderful futures. Writers are uniquely sensitive creatures and in tune with those ideas. We build empathy with our stories, and we make the world a better place. For me, Roger Ebert once said of the movies, though I think it applies to all stories, the movies are like a machine that generates empathy. If it's a great movie, it lets you understand a little bit more about what it's like to be a different gender, a different race, a different age, a different economic class, a different nationality, a different profession, different hopes, aspirations, dreams, and fears. It helps us to identify with the people who are sharing this journey with us, and that, to me, is the most noble thing that good movies can do, and it's a reason to encourage them and to support them and to go to them. And I think books do this too, because we, as artists and writers, know that we can be changing hearts and minds with our words. I talked about this a little bit last year, but Kurt Vonnegut asked himself once about what the use of the arts were. And he wrote in an essay that the best thing he could come up with was what he called the canary in the coal mine theory. This theory says that artists are useful to society because they're so sensitive. They're super sensitive. They keel over like canaries in poisoned coal mines long before more robust types realize that there's any danger whatsoever. And I think that's true too. We write to change the heart or mind of one person, whether it's to distract them from the troubles of the day or to help them better understand the troubles of someone else, or ring the alarm bells of catastrophes we face. Every word of writing that we do is designed to invoke an idea in a reader, to generate the empathy Roger Ebert found so important in movies, and to make a reader feel something. Even writing intended to be apolitical is a statement of privilege from the writer writing it, helps us understand their plight too. I mentioned this last year, and I think it's important to repeat, that there was a study done in New York, and it suggests that readers have greater emotional intelligence and empathy, and the only way readers can find that is through the work that we create. I hope that we're able to change the world together, doing that, creating those things. One of the fastest ways to change the world is the act of service. And we have a dedicated team of volunteers here at the conference and in the organization. And we want to briefly honor them here before the awards ceremony. And to do that is our volunteer chair, Ashley Bigby.
Thank you, Brian. As Brian said, my name is Ashley Bigby, and I am the volunteer chair for the League of Utah Writers. My job for the League of Utah Writers is to schedule and oversee volunteers for League events throughout the year, as well as track their hours. These events include Annex, Pre-Quill, LTUE, and even this year, a farmer's market, and of course, the Quills Conference. This year, for what I understand may be the first time, we have awards for our volunteers. Awards are given in tiers based on the total accumulation of hours volunteered to the League throughout the year. If you dedicate 8 hours or more, you get a certificate and a free ticket to the spring Pre-Quill Conference. The rewards add up from there, but due to time, I will not be able to list them all right now. However, keep an eye out for a League newsletter with all of the details on what rewards you can earn as a volunteer for the League. There's some really good ones. I will now read off the names of the volunteers that I have records of who have volunteered for at least 8 hours for the previously listed events this past year. Please stand up when your name is called, and please hold your applause until the end of the list. Volunteers who earned a bronze certificate are Michelle Henry, Amanda Bird, Becky Rasmussen, Bowen Gillings, Dale George, Howard Collett, Jeff Stratford, Jill Vanderwood, Josh Wilcox, Linda Smith, Liz Densley, Sarah Weikel, Sarah E. Scriver, and Steve Capone, and one more for bronze. Dan Yoakum, Danielle Curitan, Danielle Harward, David Armstrong, Debbie Sklenar, Erin Luft, Heidi Thornock, Heidi Voss, Lillian Angelevic, Liz Gabitas, Melissa Larson, Sky Caden, Jennifer Neal, Steve Prentice, Talissa Sains, Brianna Trost, Nancy Granducci, and Robert Pattinson. Please give these volunteers a round of applause. If your name was on this list, will you please line up along that wall of the conference, and another lovely volunteer will hand you your certificate. And then you are free to get a picture with your certificate if you would like, and then you can have a seat. Yes. All right, volunteers who earned a silver certificate have dedicated at least 17 hours. They are Joshua Sorensen, Linda Bryan, Madeline Markham, Mark Hansen, Alexis Hansen, Audrey Hammer, Deborah Birdwell Winkler, Gail Balling, Jill Burrell, Robin Glassy, and Stacy Codner. Please give them a round of applause. You may also line up and go get your certificate and get a photo if you would like. And if I misspelled any of your names, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Finally, the gold certificates awarded to volunteers who gave more than 48 hours of their time to these league events throughout the year are Ashley Bigby and Scott Ryan. Oh, good. I'd hope you'd be here. Scott has been such a tremendous help for these events throughout the year. I cannot stress that enough. He's never hesitated to jump in when needed and take on tough tasks. He has such genuine enthusiasm and a polite professional demeanor. Many of these events would not have succeeded without him. So please give Scott another round of applause. Thank you, Scott. Many of you who earned a certificate tonight earned additional rewards, such as possibly a waived membership fee to one chapter for a year, or a free ticket to the banquet at next year's Quills. If you are one of these people, you will receive an email from me around August 20th with more details on how to collect those rewards. We could not do all of the things we do as a league without our volunteers. If you would like to volunteer for the league and get on my email list to receive notices of opportunities to volunteer and get your hours tracked, please go to the league's website, leagueofutahwriters.org/volunteers, and fill out that form. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley, and thank you to all the volunteers. Thank you to all of the volunteers. Like Ashley said, we couldn't run the organization without you. And now we're going to take some time. What are you doing, Rachel? Okay. Now we're going to turn our eyes to honoring those of you who submitted to our annual Writers Contest. The writers who are going to be honored tonight with an Olive Woolley Burt Award, as well as our Typewriters and Quill Awards, have all changed the world in some way. For those of you new to writing who've submitted something to the contest, you've changed. You've changed your world by taking another step into it. For those who submitted to our Published Work Awards, you've changed it by getting your words and ideas out there, and hopefully by putting a little money in your own pocket in the process. So Olive Woolley Burt was the first president of the League of Utah Writers and the namesake of our awards, and she changed the world when she went to work every day. In her time as the children's features editor for the Salt Lake Tribune, she helped hundreds and thousands of children foster a love for the written word. Through her books, she told little-known stories about folks on the margins of history who often were overlooked, women in early positions of power, Black folks whose stories were ignored, and others across her entire publishing career. By bringing these stories to people, by sparking a love of reading and writing in others, by leading in the league, I can truly say that Olive Woolley Burt, a woman I never met, changed my world by helping foster this organization, everything we stand for, and all the work we do to continue her legacy, the legacy of the league, and the legacy of our community. I want us to write to change the world together. I've said that a lot tonight. I want us to work together to make the world a better place. And there's no better place to start for a bunch of writers than with our writing and our art. And that's why the League of Utah Writers exists. That's the legacy of folks like Olive Woolley Burt, and we should all be honored that we continue this legacy and take part in it. As we move to introducing the winners in each category, I'd like everyone to know a few things about the contest. So the league employed judges this year from Long Island, the University of Long Island, who judged all of the pieces in the Olive Woolley Burt Awards anonymously. So they didn't have any access to know whose piece did what or who wrote it, and they have no connection to us, so they were completely divorced from that. And they all used a standard rubric, and there were at least 2 judges for each piece. Some had 3. They all left feedback on those score sheets, and over the next few weeks, if you've submitted to the contest, you will get that feedback back in the next couple of weeks. And in the hopes that your writing will get even sharper for next year's contest. I'd also like to say, per our submission guidelines, there were a few categories that had to be collapsed into each other because they didn't get enough entries, but that was not always the case. In fact, we had more entries to the contest this year than in any previous contest in recent memory. So I want to invite you all to keep up the writing, and that hard work will pay off. So without further ado, Rachel, what category will we be starting first? Yeah, well, let's go.
Next. New Voices Nonfiction.
Okay, well, hold on a second. I just wanted to remind the runners that we're going to have them running out awards to you, and there are cash prizes for some of these. So you'll notice that if you get a certificate with a check on it, it's actually yours. It's not fake. That's real. The slides. I started fat fingering the phone. Go ahead.
Okay, wait, I want to add one thing. We are going to see for some of these categories names repeating because a lot of these authors submitted multiple pieces, sometimes up to 20 pieces. So when we hear some names multiple times, it's because they are so prolific and amazing and wonderful that we need to celebrate every single one of them. So let's start with New Voices Nonfiction again. Third honorable mention goes to Patti Smith for The Book Is More Than Its Cover. How do we want these people to do it? Like raise their hands, stand up?
Yeah,
If you're here and we call your name for an award, will you stand up or wave or do something so our runners can find you? Or if you are a chapter president and you are representing that author, that would be another one you can say, they're my person, which is going to be weird because I am the Blue Quill president and I can't accept my Blue Quill people. Who would like to accept my Blue Quill awards? Tara, you want to accept my Blue Quill people? Okay. Wonderful. All right, next. W. David Mallory, second honorable mention for Chapel of the Wood. He's not here. He's feeling under the weather, so he's. I will tell you, Tara. What are you doing? Oh, okay. Frances Snaggs, first honorable mention for Letter to a Future Teacher. Third place goes to Matthew Surface for Forgive Me, Jeremy. No one? Second place goes to Olivia Engstrom for My Eternal Turtle. Not here. And first place goes to Linda Allison for Summers of a Midwestern Youth.
One thing I'd like to say very quickly about the New Voices category is that these categories are for folks who have never had received any money for their writing. So these are very new writers at the beginning of their careers, hopefully very long careers. And for those of you at the top of these categories, you're going to win some money. So you'll have been paid, so you can't enter into New Voices again next year. So for the next category, we have New Voices Poetry. So for second honorable mention, Lillian Angelevic, Autumn Hiking. And she also won the first honorable mention based on a true story. Then first place goes to Thoughts During the Pandemic, Paula Murcia.
Next, we'll have New Voices, General and Literary Fiction. Second honorable mention goes to Isabella Dokinson, Wondrous Love. First honorable mention goes to Shakira Smith for Mr. Buckley. And first place goes to G.W. Darcy for Machine.
Then we have New Voices Genre Fiction. And with the second honorable mention, we have J. Morgan White, By Their Rules. First honorable mention, R.C. Cadigan, Writing Curse. And in first place, Megan Condi with The God Project.
Tara. Next, we have New Voices Adult First Chapter. First honorable mention goes to M.L. Corsetti for Carried Away. Third place goes to Christian Bradley for The Lost City of Greenfield, Nebraska. Second place goes to Megan Condi for The Summer of the Sea. Tied for second place is J. Morgan White for It Might Disturb the House. And first place goes to Kyler Lopez for An Atlas of Shadows.
Then we have New Voices in Kidlit, first chapter. The third honorable mention goes to Lisa Bradley for Pulling Heartstrings. Second honorable mention goes to Sarah Williams for Impersonating a Lady. First honorable mention goes to Sarah Williams again for The Magical Dresses. And first place goes to BP Anderson for Shadows. So now we're moving into the Olive Woolley Burt Awards for not new voices. Old voices, yeah.
Do we want to do the pictures for all the new voices now?
Yeah, well, we can tell them.
So it's not, because these ones are not going to be getting. Yeah. If the winners for the new voices, if you're here and you have your certificate and you'd like to go get a picture taken, please do so while we move on to the next category, and you can cheer from back there. It'll spread out the cheers, I think. So the first category for the Olive Woolley Burts is poetry in the narrative form. Third honorable mention is Talissa Signs for Traveler. Second honorable mention goes to Ina Lyon for Sunflowers. First honorable mention goes to Marie Tolstrup for Kickapoo River Dance. Third place goes to Glenn Wicker for Bum Stew. Second place goes to Marie Tolstrup for River Children. And first place goes to Alexis Hansen for Ace of Hearts. Tied for first place is Jolynn Harleen for Ice Fishing. Tara?
Then we have poetry, freeform, the freeform category. Our third honorable mention for Unyielding is Talissa Sains. Our second honorable mention is for Rapture of the Rain is Jeff Huntsman. First honorable mention, Chains of Compulsion by Erica Richardson. Third place, Mrs. West's Class by Jeff Huntsman. Second place, Suicide Whale by Marie Tolstrup. And first place, Life is Not a Poem by Talissa Sains. We have another first place tie with Amanda Hill and Did You Change Your Mind as well.
Our next category is poetry, light verse. Second honorable mention goes to Please Do Not Eat in the Library by Wendy Christensen. First honorable mention goes to Sagittarius Seduction by C.H. Lindsay. Another first honorable mention goes to Everything Bleeds by C.H. Lindsay. And first place goes to Monsterish Trees by C.H. Lindsay.
The next category is poetry, soliloquy. And in the second honorable mention, The Window by Your Bed by Rochelle Knapp. First honorable mention, The Crush by Gina G. And first place, Boomer by Josie Hume.
Our next category is Poetry Sonnet. Second honorable mention goes to The Hopeful Dreamer by C.H. Lindsay. First honorable mention, Enough by Amanda Hill. First honorable mention, Pandemic Winter by Linda Smith. Third place, Why by Amanda Hill. Tied for third place is Hearing Loss by Lorraine Jeffrey. Second place, Oliver Sonnet by Lillian Angelevic. And first place, Mementos of 100 Lives Well Read by C.H. Lindsay.
Okay, it's time for our prose nonfiction category. Second honorable mention, Kitchen Magic by Lene Elizabeth. First honorable mention, Torches and Pitchforks by Lorraine Jeffrey. First honorable mention, The Barn by Marie Tolstrup. Third place, Vindicated by Lorraine Jeffrey. Second place, Shadows of the Ghosts of Christmas by William David Mallory. And first place, Someone Else's War by Ina Loyan. Liam. There's a tie for first place as well, But I Live Here by Corinne Laranaga. Is Corinne here? Okay.
Our next category is prose flash fiction. Second honorable mention goes to The Breakout by Patrick Partridge. Second honorable mention goes to Diego on Holiday by Marie Tolstrup. First honorable mention, Three-Letter Word by Ina V. Lyon. Third place is Planned Parenthood by Brian Young. What? Second place, Fortune's Favor by Tim Keller. First place, The Weaver by E.R. Clarke. Are you in this one too? I'm going to keep going. I have a hunch.
I don't know. Keep going. Just go.
I'm just going to keep going. Prose, science fiction, and fantasy. Second honorable mention goes to Submission, Daniel Yoakum. First honorable mention, Menagerie by Tim Keller. First honorable mention, Catch a Falling Star by Linda Midgley. Third place, Shifting Sands by L.S. Coons. Second place, Bleeding Hearts by Alexis Hansen. Also, first place, Grimstone Catastrophe by Alexis Hansen. Is this The next category is prose horror. Third honorable mention goes to Late Night Reruns by Brian Young. Second honorable mention, Miss Emma's World Famous Sausage by Tiffany Felix. Best title ever for a horror. First honorable mention, Premium Request by Corinne Larnaga. Third place, Hammer Club by Johnny Worthen. Second place, These Crooked Roots by Alexis Hansen. And first place, The Way the Cookie Crumbles by Claudine Descala.
The next category is prose romance. Honorable mention is Christmas Angel at Aspen, Carolyn Campbell. First honorable mention, K.A. Bigelow, Many Happy Returns. And first place, To England with Love, Josie Hume. The next category is prose mystery. First honorable mention, Good Choices by L.S. Coons. And first place goes to David Rowe, Case of the Missing Heir.
The next category is prose, general, and literary fiction. Third honorable mention, Intersections, Tara Luft. Second honorable mention, Javelina by Yosef Mayasato. First honorable mention, In the Hands of the Enemy by Amanda Hill. Third place, A Worthy Process by Danielle Harward. Second place, German Chocolate Cake by Ina V. Ryan. We have a tie for second place. It is Through Words Alone with Rebecca M. Robertson. And first place goes to If You Could Forget One Thing by Patrick Partridge.
I want to say one quick thing about the general and literary category. This category was by far and away our most popular, and the competition was fierce, and we had more entries for this than any other single or largely combined categories across the entire country. Those of you who won in that category and placed in that category, give yourselves another round of applause. It was the fiercest of the competition.
Are you in this one?
Yeah, this is the one.
This is the one.
Yeah.
The next category is prose, short comic, or screenplay. Third honorable mention is Pirate Propaganda by Lena Lance. What's her pseudonym? Second honorable mention, The Midwives by Rebecca M. Robertson. First honorable mention, Planned Parenthood by Brian Young. Third place, Late Night Reruns, Brian Young. Second place, Eat the Rich by Brian Young.
And first place in prose, short comic, or screenplay goes to Anakin Young, Crooked Grave. You'll pay for this when we get home. Seriously, good job. That's my kid. Prose adult first chapter. Second honorable mention, Frank Benjamin, Fragile Memories. First honorable mention, Water's Bride, Masha Shikovic. First honorable mention, Sisterhood of the Backwards Bustle, Sky Simons. Third place, Vanishing Traces by Patrick Partridge. Second place, Hidden by Jeff Huntsman. And first place, The Befallen by Cambria Williams.
Our next category is Prose, first chapter, Kids. Second honorable mention goes to Treaty of Marcina by Christina Fraley. First honorable mention goes to Duminal's Book 4, His Destruction by Tamara Copley. First place goes to South Side of Nowhere, Kylie N. Birch. Our next category is prose screenplay. I will be reading this for obvious reasons. Second honorable mention goes to The Dance by D. Reed Whitaker. First honorable mention, The Unseen by Blake Castleman. Third place, Serial Vlogger by Eric Nelson. Second place, Amy and Angel, Julia Verdon, Didi Benkovich. And first place, J School by Brian Young.
So that is it for the Olive Woolley Burt Awards, and I want to say congratulations to all of the winners and all of you and the judges who aren't here, but I want to thank them anyway because they did a lot of hard work. For any of you who went and won awards, if you would like to go to the back to take photographs as a group or singly, the backdrop and the photographer are back there for you. So please don't hesitate to do that.
You should thank Sonia as well.
And thanks, Sonia. Sonia, the content, well, that's later, and I've got, I'll just thank Sonia repeatedly. Sonia Nitschke was the contest chair, and they really pulled a rabbit out of a hat with the contest. It's a really big job. Now, I would like to introduce the first installment of our brand new Typewriter Awards. Like the Quills, these are for works published by authors in Utah, writers across the league who live here and publish here. As we saw more and more writers among our ranks publishing short works professionally, it was felt that we needed to find a way to honor them. So we added categories for poetry, short fiction, media articles, and nonfiction, and we had no shortage of entries, all representing the very best of the work that you've all done over the last year. So these pieces were also judged by the Long Island University folks, and I'm sure they must have been blown away by the level of professional work coming out from our membership, and I think you should all be proud of that. Like the Quills Awards, we'll be awarding gold, silver, and bronze typewriters, as well as recommended reads, and then at the end, the highest scoring piece across all categories will take home the very first Emerald typewriter. So, Rachel, would you like to introduce the first category of the typewriters?
Yes, I would. The first category is poetry. Get ready, poets. A recommended read goes to Titanium Scars by Talissa Sainz. A recommended read goes to The Sanguinity of Sago Lilies by Rosemary L. Wise. Recommended read goes to Clear as the Ska is Blue by Brian Young. Would you advance? Bronze typewriter goes to Candace J. Thomas for Fine. We had a tied bronze typewriter for Beach Therapy by Alice M. Batzel. I'm holding on one sec.
We kept the plaques so secret the runners didn't know about them. So we just had to fix that.
Thank you for holding. The silver typewriter goes to Phoenix by Candace J. Thomas. And the gold typewriter goes to My Mind's Eye by Joseph Batzel.
The next category is nonfiction. Recommended read, Misfired Love, Carolyn Campbell. Recommended read, Valerie Shank, Baby Skates.
Tara, that's for you, Tara.
Recommended read, From the Other Side of Christmas, Jeff Huntsman. The bronze typewriter in nonfiction goes to Questions and Everything by Talissa Sainz. The silver typewriter goes to A Pebble in the Shoe by David Allen Armstrong. And the gold typewriter goes to Vince Font for Dear Carlitos, A Letter to My Brother.
The next typewriter category is media article. Recommended read, Is This Fossilized Dinosaur Leg a Record of the Day the Asteroid Struck? By Cassidy Ward. Recommended read, Dim Lights, Bright Memory by Joseph Gordon. Recommended read, The Rick McCallum Chronicles, Part 1 and 2 by Brian Young. The bronze typewriter goes to Persons with Intellectual Disabilities Face a Crisis of Care by Lene Elizabeth. The silver typewriter goes to Opinion Ghostbusters Afterlife by D. Pat Thomas. And the gold typewriter goes to The French Dispatch is Wes Anderson's love letter to the world of magazine writers by Brian Young.
Then in the category of flash fiction, the bronze typewriter goes to Note Found in an Abandoned Clock by Johnny Worthen. Internal Clock by Daniel Yoakum. And the gold typewriter goes to The Pestilence by Vince Font.
Next category, short story. The recommended read is Tilting at Windmills by Lauren Christopher. Recommended read, Virtual Oracle by Lee Saunders. Recommended read, Fog of War by Tara Luft. Recommended read, And He Did by Cassidy Ward. The bronze typewriter goes to Wonderful by L.S. Coons. The silver typewriter. Do you want to read this one?
The Age of Wind Power, A Brief History of the Empire's Second Industrial Revolution by Catherine Monasterio. And the gold typewriter for short story, for Scrying Out Loud, Corinne Laranaga. It's time now for the Emerald typewriter. Like we said, across all categories, this is the story or piece that scored highest in over every category. And the winner of this year's Emerald typewriter is for a short story named Death by Misadventure by John Olson. Congratulations, John. That is the first Emerald typewriter. Okay. Again, for the typewriters winners, if you want to go back and have your photographs taken with your awards and whatnot, we can also do that after. But it's now time for the Quills. This is the highest award the League of Utah Writers offers for published authors of full-length fiction. And new this year is a category that's been added for novella-length work. We saw that there was a lot of that coming out. This award means something big. If you're the writer in Utah responsible for the Diamond Quill, you're achieving excellence in your publishing life and competing against a very tense field of authors across genres and publishers, big and small, independent and traditional. So congratulations to all of you, whether you win a quill or not, because you've published a book last year. And congratulations to those who entered them into the quills. And I'm really excited for you all to learn who takes home the top prizes this year. As with the typewriters, we'll be awarding a gold, silver, and bronze quill with each award, as well as recommended reads, and then the highest scoring book across all categories will take home the coveted Diamond Quill. So Rachel, what's our first category?
Our first category is kids literature. Recommended read, 7 Seconds by Rachel DeFries. Bronze quill goes to Out of Time by Elizabeth A. Drysdale. Silver quill goes to Frogman's Response by Heidi Voss. And the gold quill goes to Relatively Normal Secrets by C.W. Allen.
The next category is nonfiction, and the gold quill in nonfiction goes to Mike O'Brien for Monastery Mornings.
You might be wondering why some categories only have one award, and it's because of, instead of collapsing them, we decided to just honor the top place. The next category is novella. The recommended read for the novella is The Fat Chick and the Bald Guy by Andrea Gapmeyer. Recommended read, Ravel by Cassidy Ward. Recommended read, The Secret Fox by Brian Young. The bronze quill goes to A Sorrow Named Joy by Sarah Chorn. Silver quill, The Fox Patrol by Brian Young. And the gold quill, The Fox and the Bear by Brian Young.
Okay, now we have collections. These are anthologies and collections either from single writer or from groups of people, and usually the editor's the one submitting. So for our first recommended read is Vince Font, More Shadows on the Page. Recommended read, Whimsical Winter Wonderland, Lynn Worthen. Recommended read, Crazy Christmas Capers, Lynn Worthen.
Recommended read, The Stars Are Fire, Cassidy Ward, Brian Young, and Elizabeth Suggs. Bronze quill, Anthology of Hope by Vince Font. Silver quill, If Not Now, When? Talissa Signs, Tara Love, Daniel Yoakum, and Johnny Worthen. Deceased. They're sorting the.
There's only one plaque for it.
There's one plaque, but multiple certificates. So you get to duke it out. I'm putting my money on Tara. My money's on Tara. And the gold quill goes to In Spite of the Dark, a collection of poetry and prose by Carrie Montgomery.
In the category of novel, our first recommended read, Evade the Dark by Stephen Johnson. Another recommended read, The Audacity of Sarah Grayson by Joni Elliott. Another recommended read, Of Kings, Queens, and Colonies by Johnny Worthen. One more recommended read. The way the recommended reads work is they have to score really close to the top three. And if they drop below a certain threshold, they don't get the recommended read. But if they score up near the top of the pack, they get them. They were really close. So we have another recommended read. This is Let the Wild Grasses Grow by Case Johnston. The bronze quill goes to True Strength by S.L. Clark. The silver quill goes to Forever Sheriff by Edward Massey. And the gold quill, Harding Proper by K.G. Montgomery. It's time now for the Diamond Quill. Again, this is the published book that won the highest ratings across all categories. The Diamond Quill by Lynn Worthen. Well done, well done. So again, for those of you who won quills, if you'd like to take photographs in the back, that's available. But I want you to everyone here to take a round of applause for yourselves for being here in support of those who entered the contests, for those who won, for those who aren't with us, for all of the writers in our community. What am I missing?
No. I would like to tell everyone who won a bronze, recommended read bronze, silver, and gold quill, and diamond quill, that our wonderful marketing chair, Candace, got you some beautiful stickers to put on your book covers. So you can advertise your win immediately after going home. And it's going to be awesome. Thank you, Candace. They're back here, so don't forget them. They're back here and they're amazing. And we also will be sending you the image so you can use it on your ebook. That's all.
So I just want to talk about our community a little bit. Writers don't write in a vacuum. It takes a community to produce quality work and quality people, and we should all be proud of our village. And this is the portion of our evening where we turn to those who've populated that village in the best ways and worked to make this community one that actually can change the world. And we're going to start with something new that we're doing that we discussed as a board and are introducing this year. And these are lifetime memberships to folks who have contributed significantly to the league over a large portion of time. So for our first honorary lifetime member, I'd like Tim Keller to stand up and take a bow. Will you grab these two? And the bag over there. Tim has been in the league for many, many years, running things up north. He served as a president of the league, and in his current position on the board as compliance chair, he does his best to keep us in the loop on all of the vast institutional knowledge that he's collected about the organization over his many, many years of service. When you add all of those things to the fact that he's a tremendously talented writer and a mentor, then you know you have something special. So I'd like to honor Tim with one of the first of 2 honorary lifetime memberships to the league for his dedication to his craft and his fellow writers and service to the organization. So thank you, Tim, from the bottom of my heart. We have a gift for you. Yes. For the second honorary lifetime member, I'd like to honor another past president, Johnny Worthen. Johnny's helped make this conference a world-class event that put the League of Utah Writers on the map and has dedicated his time in service of the league to expanding its influence and cachet to all corners of the country and writing communities everywhere. The relationships he's built has helped make the league strong, both financially and in spirit, and we're grateful for his tie-dyed brand of service. So, Johnny, thank you for the work you've done and that you continue to do in doing your best to represent us, questionable as that might be at times. to teach and mentor us and instill our values in the community. So to both Johnny and Tim, thank you for the work you've done to make the league what it is. I would not be standing here if it weren't for the two of you, nor would many be sitting in this room. So thank you both, genuinely. So, last year, before she'd been elevated to the post of president-elect, Rachel was named Volunteer of the Year. And now she's going to say a few words about who we're going to announce as our next Volunteer of the Year. Okay, you click it whenever you
Just touch it?
You just touch it.
Okay. The Volunteer of the Year this year was actually a really difficult decision. There were a lot of nominations. The Volunteer of the Year and the Writer of the Year are both peer nominated, sorry. I'm a scientist. Everything has been peer reviewed here. So the nominations are all sent in by you, and then the executive committee and the chair of the committee gets to make a final call on these things. So the person we are honoring this year for Volunteer of the Year is someone who is in every situation filled with kindness and brings joy to every interaction. This is someone who is so incredibly persuasive that sometimes people get roped into volunteering and they don't even know what hit them, and then they're like, what just happened? I have no idea what happened just now. And this is the power of the wonderful spirit and silver tongue of Jared Kwan. Jared is not only a past president of the league, he also served on the board as our outreach chair, our historian, General Shenanigans, I don't know. He's the reason I even got roped into things with volunteering. He's the reason Tara's here. He's the reason Brian's here. We're just gonna blame Jared for all of that happening. Thanks a lot, Jared. He's the reason that Johnny's here, is that correct? Oh. I cannot even think of a better person who could be receiving this award. You are amazing, Jared. You want to say anything? Okay. Do you want to?
So now we're going to invite to the stage the Writer of the Year chair, past president, lifetime member of the league, Carolyn Campbell, to introduce the next big honor, our new Writer of the Year.
It's been 25 years, a quarter of a century, 25 years since I was named Writer of the Year. Yet I still remember the thrill of that night like it was yesterday. I vividly recall sitting out in the if you were sitting here. I remember my heart pounded when Helen Glissmeyer, who was the Writer of the Year chair then, started reading the description of the new Writer of the Year. The more she read, the more it sounded like me. I still remember the way my heart pounded during those tense moments. The suspense took my breath away. Being Writer of the Year is a valuable credential that you never lose. It looks great on a resume. It sounds good in a talk. It's a fun fact to tell people. Lots of people notice the plaque above your desk. Your name is always on the league website, an accomplishment that pays tribute to your success. It can buoy you up on those dark days that every writer experiences. 25 years later, writing is still the thing I love most. I want to thank everyone who nominated someone for Writer of the Year. We received many excellent nominations. If the person you chose isn't the one who won this year, please consider nominating that person again. And the nominations can start right after we leave this room. There's no early deadline. The nominees were very impressive and deserving, and the choice was difficult. The Writer of the Year is chosen by other writers and peers who respect this writer. This new Writer of the Year is a mental health professional, the highly distractible author of Jewish MG and YA fantasy, and prone to oversharing gross medical stories. She enjoys yapping ad nauseum about writing in live presentations and videos posted to her YouTube channel. She's actually a gremlin in a wig. Her debut MG fantasy novel, Anya and the Dragon, is a 2019 Sydney Taylor Book honoree for the middle grade. And the follow-up, Anya and the Nightingale, is also an STBA honoree, as well as a National Jewish Book Award finalist. The name of the new Writer of the Year makes me think of Dr. Zhivago, which was written by Boris Pasternak. The Writer of the Year for 2022 is Sophia Pasternak.
Yeah, if any of you came to listen to me talk about gross medical stuff, yeah, you knew that was me as soon as she said it. That's wonderful. Wow, thank you so much. I don't know, I didn't prepare anything. If I knew this was gonna happen, I wouldn't have worn yoga pants. So, yeah, here, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. So I want to congratulate everyone who won an award tonight, big or small, whether for your service, your writing, or both. This is a huge deal, and you all deserve it. But with the pomp and circumstances of the awards completed, I'd like to take a minute to talk about next year's conference. The theme of next year's conference is Writing Dangerously. The great gasbag Senator Joseph McCarthy once circulated a post in the 1950s at the height of the Red Scare that read, "Beware of artists. They mix with all classes of society and are therefore most dangerous." We're the most dangerous. There's no doubt about it. But we're not dangerous in the way they think. We're dangerous because every act of self-expression frees the soul and is an act of rebellion against a society that puts profit ahead of people. How can you consider creating something of your own? As we talked about in this year's theme, we can change the world with our writing. If we were dangerous, they wouldn't try to keep banning books and keeping the most important books out of the hands of folks, young and old, who need them most. Earlier this year, the executive committee penned a statement to stand against the book bannings across the country and the attempts made right here by our very own legislature. They try to find a way to the most vulnerable of us. They want us to stay ignorant and divided. How can people stay informed of the realities of the world if those ideas are banned from our schools and our libraries? So we need to write dangerously in ways that threaten those who seek to keep knowledge from us and from the next generation. We must be that safeguard, that beckoning candle in the dark, a spark of flame that lights the way through the darkness. But there's another level of danger I want to consider as we think about next year's theme. How can we write dangerously for ourselves? Every act of writing is an act of truly knowing ourselves and sometimes finding answers for ourselves that are uncomfortable. How can we take these vulnerable truths about ourselves and wield these dangerous tidings into something that will change the world? So we write. We free that expression of our souls and put it on paper for the world to see. Yes, we're the most dangerous because we're the most in touch with our empathy, our sympathy, our hearts, and with our ability to point to those things that are wrong with our stories and however obliquely say, how would you feel? What would that be like? We're most dangerous because we can help people understand each other. So to kick off with the theme of writing dangerously, I'd like your help on the board of the League of Utah Writers or volunteering in other capacities. We've worked this last year already to include more folks than ever, provide scholarships to those in need to help tell their stories and grow in the community. We're going to expand that work, and we're going to need your help. So if you'd like to volunteer, please let Rachel and I know, or Ashley, or anybody, just anybody in the executive committee, just let us know. So as we look to next year's conference, there's a few key announcements. First, we have the dates locked in. The conference will take place August 10th through 13th, 2023, once again, right here at the University Marriott. We have keynotes to announce as well. First, we'll be welcoming the New York Times bestselling author of Star Wars Ahsoka, Queen's Hope, Queen's Peril, The Afterword, and more, E.K. Johnston, who was supposed to be our keynote this year, but wasn't able to join us because of COVID reasons. It went backwards. Okay.
It's keynote.
Yeah, I don't know. So for our other major keynote, we'll be hosting Zen Cho, the British World Fantasy Award-winning author of the Sorcerer to the Crown series. Both Zen and Kate are terrific authors and teachers, and I can't wait for us to learn from them. And as for our poetry keynote, we'll be welcoming R.J. Walker, one of the top-ranked slam poets in the United States. We've got some other folks coming, and we're going to have lots of announcements about who else is coming over the next year. And to that end, super early bird tickets are now on sale or close to on sale? Close? Okay, at some point this weekend, the super early bird tickets are going to be on sale, and the conference is never going to get cheaper than if you buy your tickets between now and the end of the month. We're going to write dangerously together. Like Senator McCarthy, those who seek to poison our world and our communities should fear us. We mix with all classes of society, and therefore we are the most dangerous. I can't wait to see what stories you dare to write, and I can't wait to see how the League can help. With that, I'd like to thank everyone here on the executive, conference, and contest committees for their hard work in making this happen, especially the tireless work of Sonia Nitschke. They pulled off something amazing with the contest, and I'm glad they stepped up to volunteer in that position. For those of you who've won awards, like I said, please stick around, take some pictures with your awards. The photographer's waiting for you at the back with the Quills backdrop. So, to everyone, thank you for coming. Good night, good luck, and happy writing.